Good evening, all. We are super excited to have you all here. Today we have Isala Piyarisi, who is a software engineer at WSO2, and he's going to talk about Go full stack with Cloud Run. Isala, screen is yours.
Hello. Can you hear me? Yes. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi, hi everyone. I'm Isala Piyarisi, and so in this session we'll be exploring the exciting world of serverless infrastructure and how Google Cloud Run take it to the next level by deploying our own application. So to give a bit more context, I have been using Google Cloud Run in production for about 2 years now to host my clients' projects and basically side projects. And in fact, if you go to my portfolio website, which is hosted on isla.me, you will be connecting to a Cloud Run instance, which is serving the website. So by the end of this session, I hope you will have at least a basic understanding of how to get started with Cloud Run and deploy your own full stack application. So sit back and relax, and let's get ready to go full stack with Cloud Run. So to start off, let's talk about actual Google Cloud Platform as a whole first. So Google Cloud Platform, which is also known as GCP, is a cloud infrastructure platform that was created by Google to host web services and applications. So if you had used Google Search or YouTube or any other platform, you would be interacting with this platform because Google themselves use Google Cloud as their backbone to their services. So GCP usually offers a wide range of services from computing to data storage to networking. But one of the most interesting thing for me on the GCP platform is their serverless capabilities. So basically, these serverless function products they offer in Google Cloud allows developers to run their application without worrying about the underlying infrastructure, and this helps sometimes save a lot of money for smaller companies and individuals. So also I want to mention Kubernetes, which is very popular open source platform for managing deployment and scaling deployments. Is also actually initially developed by Google in-house for their needs, but later open source. But on Google Cloud, they have built a lot of services around this to make our life easier. So Google Cloud Run being one of them. So let's dive a bit more into Google Cloud Run. So, what is Google Cloud Run? So, it is essentially a fully managed platform that offers an innovative way to deploy containers as scalable microservices. So, one of the key benefits of Google Cloud as a developer is it gives a flexibility for us developers to write our programs in any programming language or framework we like, and if we can containerize it and expose a HTTP endpoint, it can run on Google Cloud Run. And so this is basically a serverless container management platform. This platform also has the ability to scale the infrastructure down to zero, which means like if we don't have any traffic coming or like nothing going on during like let's say off hours, we won't get charged for anything. So, and also to do this, Google use Kubernetes under the hood, and Cloud Run is actually developed on top of a project called Knative, which offers a vendor-neutral platform to deploying and running and scaling stateless containerized workloads. So, but all these complexity is actually hidden and abstracted away from us, and giving and then giving us a deploy and forget platform. Uh, So another key advantage for Cloud Run is, for me personally, is cost effectiveness. So basically, Google Cloud offers this pay as you, like what you use is what you pay model, where we get charged for the number of instances we have up and running. So for example, as I mentioned, like the platform has the ability to scale down to zero when there's no load, and automatically scale up when there is load. This essentially allows us to sometimes run our products basically free. So for my side projects, I haven't actually hit the pricing tier over the last 3 years, 2 years actually. So basically, what the pricing tier is like, Google offers first 10 million requests processed by Cloud Run to be free of charge each month, and for next every million requests they charge only $0.4, which is like, in my opinion, very generous. And this will help small to medium sized businesses a lot when it comes to cloud deals. So let's see what's all the fuss about by deploying a Vegetal application, which is an open source content management system on Cloud Run. So at the end of this, we will have something like this, where like we have three Google Cloud services. Where the first one is for the actual Cloud Run instance, where we will host our business logic, and we will have a database which is powered by Google Cloud's SQL platform. And for static data storage, we will use Cloud Run. So this is basically like S3 if you are familiar with Google Cloud, AWS. And so once we deploy our Cloud Run instance, Google will give us an endpoint which can be configured, which is configured to route traffic to this ingress controller, which is actually out of our reach, but it's there, and that handles all the basically the magic of scaling up and down services. And this also takes care of SSL. And and for the static content, we can configure Vectel to redirect all the HTTP, static content requests to Google Cloud Storage by directly from the browser. So the user will be hitting the cloud storage. So, and cloud storage is a service by Google, which is also kind of serverless, where we can store any kind of blob data, like images or JavaScript or even CSS, and it is optimized for delivery. So let's do a quick collab and see how this works. So for this, I'll be using this Collab, and alongside with this, I have a Google Cloud project created. And the only thing here is I have configured already deployed a database, because like it's take a long time to provision a database within Google Cloud platform. Because yeah, so let's start with, so Google Cloud Platform console comes with this CLI kind of a thing, where we can directly interface with the platform within the browser. So let's go through this lab. So let's see, this setup is already done. So this basically goes through the process of creating a project and opening up this cell. So let's run this and see if we have the authentication set up correctly. Yes. Yeah, so this is configured to my email, and project is this. If I run the config this, it will show the project ID as well. Yeah, so that's good. And now let's, so to do this, we need to enable few Google Cloud APIs. Yeah, so some of these are for like, this is to deploy the like MySQL server, and this is to deploy a Cloud Run instance, and this is to store our build containers and all. And I will come to the secret manager as well in the future slide. So let's enable it. Yeah, all are enabled. So to start off, we'll just create a template application using VegTales start project. So, and I need to mention this is actually this is based on Django, which is like Python, popular Python framework to building web applications. So we can just generate a boilerplate code with this. So let's just create run this command and create a template project. So this is basically like creating a virtual environment and installing VegTales. And with this command we can scaffold the project, so we can just see how it's going. Okay, so now the project is, if I check the files here, you can see there are a few content here, and so this is the project. So okay, now let's just get off this virtual environment and delete this thing. So we have the project here. So So next we need to configure the backend services. So in this case, we will need, as I mentioned, we'll need a Cloud Run instance, not Cloud Run, database, and a storage bucket to store our static content. So let's just set up few environment variables. So this will save the current project ID to this. We need to use it later down here, and region will set it as either server one. And also need to mention, like, the Cloud Run isn't available on all the Google Cloud locations that are there. Like, I think they have like 12 or something data centers. I can't exactly remember the number. So but they only support these three regions for Cloud Run. So first of all, we need to create a service account to um, so the Cloud Run instance can communicate with other services. So we'll create that, and this will basically go and create the IAM account with this configuration, and we can get the email that was associated with that. So basically the ID, if I print it, it will be like something like this. So this will be used by our Cloud Run instance to communicate. This part is I actually already done. I showed you because like it takes about 15 minutes to sometimes set up the database. So I already ran that, and so now let's create a database on it. So we have the database instance, and we need to create a database on that. So now we have a database within that database instance. If you go to here, you can see there's this my database we just created, and we will create a yeah, we will create a random password using this Linux command, which just uses random and like cut off few things, and run this. It will create a password and save it to here. I will not show the password for the moment. So and we'll create a SQL user out of it. So as of now, I think we will have Postgres user. If we run this, yeah, I think Django user should be there now. Yeah, just came in. And now we need to add the IAM binding, which means like this service account we just created can act as a Cloud SQL client. So basically, it can read and write from the database. Databases within the project just give you permission for all the databases. Okay. So now we have that as well. If you want to check those IAM bindings, we can go to here. So it's on the UI and IAM bindings. And so this is the account we created, and we just associated this permission for this. And next, we need to create a storage bucket. So storage bucket, as I mentioned, those yeah, yeah. Storage buckets are used to store like static content. So since this will be serving, we will be serving lot of static content like images and all, we need to have a bucket to that. Okay, and we just say project ID slash media, so it will be, the bucket will be named like this. So let's run this command, which will create the bucket. So by the way, all of these things can be done with the UI, but it's just convenient to do it. So it just create this bucket, and we can add any content here we want. So, and another thing we need to do in this bucket is to configure cross-origin resource share. So if you have worked with like front-end development, you know like how annoying this can be sometimes. So we just need to say don't care, we don't care, just allow anyone can anywhere can read our content. It is basically like prompt security feature. We allow that and we can run this command. It will set the cross origin to all, and then we need to generate few configuration info for the our application, so it knows where to talk to the database and knows how to talk to the GCP bucket. And we also need to set a secret key for our Django application, which will be used for its internal encryption. And we will also set debug to true, so we can see if something goes wrong is really debugging. So since this is a live demo, I'm sure something will go wrong. So the file should be there. Like that. So file is there now. I will not show it because it has a password. And the next thing is the like another interesting thing. We can store these files in Google Cloud Secret Manager class. So basically, we can Secret Manager. Yeah, here. So we will create a secret manager and store these here. So like we can easily reference this from the our Google Cloud Run instance, and these secrets will be managed from a central place. And by default, these will be encrypted with the Google Managed key. Oops. Let's see if it got updated. So this is a secret manager. Yeah. Yes, so there's this one. I can't remember if to show that data or not. Yeah, so we have the data here, and it's encrypted by Google Managed Key. So we can, since I have the super admin power, I can view the secret values. Yeah, and we also need to add again a role binding where it says that service account we are going to give to the Cloud Run instance has the access to view this secret. So basically, the IAM policy is like in Google Cloud how we authenticate or give permission to like different components running in it, and this will make sure like the Cloud Run can talk to the secret vault and get the necessary secrets. And we check like it's the same thing as here, so we can see version 1 is here and it's enabled, and we can get rid of the secret file from the local. Okay, so now we need to do a few configuration steps for Vegetal, so it knows how to run within Cloud Run. So it's not much of a configuration, but it's something. So we'll first check the base configuration. So this is the Django base configuration, which specify a few things like basically the settings of this application. So we'll quit that and the base configuration somewhere else, and we'll create a new configuration file called my projects as settings of file, and we will use this for our later purposes. And if you go through this secret file, what it does is like it will first uh, read environment secrets from this settings application settings environment variable. So basically we will inject that using cloud runs, like we have a way in cloud run to like read from a secret vault and inject that to the like container runtime. So we have access to that those secrets as a environment variable, and from there onwards we can access all the values we just set on the uh, previous one. So we can say secret database URL, those can be accessed easily, debug value and all this. And these are actually uh, environment variables that will be exposed by cloud run by default. This is the like actual endpoint we'll be communicating with, and this cloud run proxy so basically like knows how to talk to the database. So we'll copy this configuration and paste it to the here. And I also wanted to show this one. So here we specify the like our Google Cloud Storage bucket and other, and ask it to use that as the storage backend. So this knows how to redirect the static request to our bucket. So this is actually built into Django, and it will be very easy to use. So let's save this file, and yeah, we need to delete like some of the old configurations. Not all, like we don't need dev production. We'll be using this one, so we'll get rid of the other production, the settings. And then we need to add few, like we need to point our application to use this configuration file rather than div one. So we need to, this basically actually not related to cloud run but mostly to Django. So we just need to go here and move this. It says module. uh, oops, that's the wrong file. So these are, so the like it will be using the correct configuration. Settings. Okay. I hope I did that right. Yes. And we'll get rid of the automatically generated Docker file as well. And we need to add few requirements to this project, basically to set up the like our the way we pass our environment variable and configure the Django Google Cloud Storage backend. We just put it here, and this is for actually to talk to the, this is Postgres binary. Yeah. So this is the web server we'll be using to host our application, and we'll so Cloud Run comes with like another build pack. Uh, we could create a, what do you call, a Docker file as well for, but for this code lab we'll be using a prop file to configure the like, container. But at the end we'll be actually using just a Docker container, not anything specific special. Sorry. Okay. So that is all the like configuration that need to be done on our application side. So we can host this Django application within Cloud Run. And then we need to, so we have the project now. We need to build this as a Docker container and publish it to a registry so we can pull it down and run. So to do that, Google Cloud comes with built-in what do you call CA solution, which is called Cloud Build. So we can just create Cloud Build using this one. So here we will just get the project ID. Project number is if I show this, just random number that when that we assign when we are creating a project, and we'll export the cloud. So we'll get the build the service account, and let's add another IAM policy, which will allow the build system to access those secrets we just created. So this will be done to our during the initial step. We need to run a migration on the database where we'll create initial database schema. So we'll be doing that using Cloud Build as well. So we'll create a IAM role binding with the security access as a role to the build system, and that was also created. And if we go to IAM, you can see this is a Cloud Build, and the role isn't, I think it's not reflected yet. Oops. Oh no, I think I haven't added it. Okay, so now we added the database client as a permission role for this Cloud Build account as well. That's because we need to, in order to run the migration, that build pipeline need to have access to the database as well. So now to make this migration, actually we need to create the migration file. So this is again a Django standard. We can create just a directory called migrations, and we can add scripts there. So we'll make this file and create the init file. So these are we have the migration directory. This is just a Python requirement, and we'll create the migration script like this, and it will just get the, from the environment variable, it will get the admin password, and we'll be just setting it right now, and it will get the admin password and run the initial create admin migration on the database. So for the database also, it will get the secrets from the secret manager as we configured earlier. And yeah, so let's just put this, yeah, and next. And we can create a random password for this. I think this will show the password. Yeah, no, this will not show the password. And we are just putting the password to the secret vault again. So if we go to the secret manager, we have this. So we have the admin password as here, and then we can create a again a role binding to access that password by the build system. Okay, and then yeah. So and this is actually a pipeline script where we specify how to run this migration step. So like Google Cloud build cloud builds pipelines uses Docker to handle all the building steps. So here what we does is like we just get the, so they have this container called GC proxy where like that will make it easy to connect to the database using local hosts. So it will just create all the configuration and it will create a proxy between the like our application and the database. So we don't have to worry about the authentication, and it will handle the like SSL as well. And then we will run yeah, we will run the migration script with this. Like we will start the proxy, and then we will run the migration step. And also we will collect static. This means like it will copy all the static content that is built into Django to the storage bucket. If you go to the storage bucket right now, we will have a storage bucket, but we won't have any data in it. So same goes for the database. So we'll just create this file here and put this. Yeah. And this also has a like secret manager configured correctly, so it will inject the secrets correctly to the pipeline. It will get the like environment application and these two like the secrets we just created, and then we can yeah, we can publish this as a Docker file and build a Docker image out of this. It will take few minutes, seconds, I guess. So yeah, these two like, steps are actually like more to do with Django rather than like Cloud Run. I will show more about Cloud Run when it's come to like actual after we deploy the application. So it's just creating the Docker image. And also if we go back now, it will create some other buckets as well. Yeah, so you can see like this is to store like the source code as a like binary, and another one will be there when we push the image, which will have the like actual Docker containers image. So now it's just installing Django and building the actual Docker container. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, I think we can answer. Mm, I can only see the like Google chat, YouTube chat. Some of those Suresh, are they? Do we have any questions?
Uh, so far, no questions.
Okay, you can ask any question if you have.
Yeah, but Tadu Dershan is asking Python, just Python. I don't know what he meant.
Uh, just Python. If you're meaning like, are we able to only run Python? No. So we can run any like even like I remember like seeing a demo from Google where like they run assembly code as well. So the limitation with like normal serverless offerings like so like AWS has Lambda functions and Azure has Azure functions, I think, as an so the even Google Cloud has their own offerings like App Engine and Cloud Functions. The main limitation with those is like they give like set of fixed languages we can build around applications, and we need to like adhere to their some of the guidelines they are given. But when it comes to Cloud Run, we can just create a Docker container and expose a HTTP endpoint, and it will run. So that's like main difference between like Cloud Run and other offerings. So now we have like actually build the container and it's on GCR under this domain. So if we actually can pull it from there, and we'll actually now run the migration as well. So we just create the migration script. So we'll run another pipeline with this. And also, I think we can see the logs from here. So cloud build. Yeah. So these are the pipelines that's running actually currently. So we can see this build was already ran. It's successful. So that's like one where we build the image. So we can see the build logs from here as well. It will show like execution date and build artifacts where those are. And you can see if you go to here, then yeah, it's on GCR. And for the other one, you can see all the migrations are now getting applied, and it is currently on running state. Mm, and we can even get the like objects from here. So if we go to, so this is actually current like applying database migrations. Uh, if you go to our database now, we should see something going on here. It's not here. Let's see write operations. There's a small spike here because of the migrations going on. Mm, yeah, and now I think we did correct static files. Mm, yeah, now you can see the static files are also here. Yeah, so it was just collecting static files. So it sometimes takes some time. So and those images were uploaded to Google Cloud, cloud storage. So we can just access them by like if you go to the expose a public URL as I remember. Yeah, public access is available. So if you go to this link, they just like storage link. You can see the content, and it's not authenticated. Yeah. Now let's deploy this to Cloud Run. So to do that, like Cloud Console, like this CLI has another argument called run and run deploy. And we can specify the like instance name and say this is a platform manage instance and this is the region, and this will be the Docker container we'll be using. And these are the two like magic things from Google that brings to this, where like we can say we need to connect this Cloud Run instance need to connect to this database, and we can give the like instance name, and we can even set the like get the secrets from this secret settings object and assign it to this variable. And we can also say that like user service account we created, so it will have the permission to connect to the database and write to the this thing. So let's just run it and see what's going on. Mm. So while that's running on, I will just go to Cloud Run instance. Yeah, you can see it's already spinning up. So yeah, it will take some time to get started, and I think we can check the logs. Yeah, I have to say yeah. So this will stream logs from the like containers like standard out and standard error to here, so we can easily debug or like observe the application. And if you go to metrics, like it will show like another whole set of metrics as well. I'll come to that in a second once the application is fully deployed. Mhm. Yeah, this is running. I think I get the password for the like admin dashboard. Not showing. Secret message. Yeah, so now the application is fully deployed and we are receiving traffic. So you can see this is a like log that is created from the Django application, and we have a publicly available endpoint. We can just go and see. If you go to this, like it will route traffic to the this one. Hopefully, maybe it needs like few more seconds to boot up. Yeah, so we have the our own Vegetail CMS deployed, and yeah, another thing. So if we have the like admin dashboard, and I can just log in here. So if I type admin and oops, so I just copy the password from the other side. So sign in. It will say like there's this CSF CRF issue where like uh, so what it basically says is like this origin is not allowed to talk to the backend. So to fix that, we need to make Django trust this endpoint we just created. So to do that, we can just get the endpoint from here. So just get the endpoint and say code like basically this one, this URL, and we get this and we can deploy it to another secret and expose it. Yes, we'll get the secret from the like the secrets we already saved in the wallet, and then we will append the, like this new URL to that file. We will just like pipe to the end of the file, and we can add a new version that says like create this like create a new version of this secret with the new URL as well. If you go to secret manager, it should have a new version now. Yeah, here the revision 2 is it just updated, and we can just get rid of the last one, and we can then run a restart on the cloud run instance. So the way this is using this one is like I forgot to mention, like it's actually we configured it to read from my environment variable here, right? Yeah, so here we say like read that environment variable and make it trustable. Default is none, so like this will add as a trusted origin. So now it's deployed again, and if you go to cloud run, it also should show a new revision. Revision, yeah. So and another cool thing is like we can do A/B testing between those, and say like few percent of traffic goes to the other one, and like we can say this one like we can put it 50-50, and like it will just randomly direct traffic like on a 50-50 chance. So in this case, like we need all the traffic to go to the new revision. So if we run this again, we should be able to. Yeah. Okay. So one of the downside to this Cloud Run is not just Cloud Run. Any serverless application is this call start concept. Like it will wait for like request to comes in, and then it will spin up the like actual workload. To mitigate that, we can go to. Can't actually remember. Yeah, that is security, not security. Mm, yeah, I think here. Can't actually remember. Right. Mm-mm. There's a way to like have like at least one container running all the time. So if we enable that, we won't have that like initial delay. So and we can see like we are on the like CMS backend, and we have like fully running full stack application on cloud. Mm, yeah. And another thing I was like noticed while yesterday doing few research of this lab is like I don't know if it will work now. Let's see. Picture. Let's upload a picture. Yeah, it says by default for some reason they didn't include this in the code lab. It says it cannot upload this image, and when I check the reason for this, let me first scan this. Let me upload it again. Uh, so and because we enable debug here, like it says like it doesn't have permission to write or like even get from Google storage. So we can easily fix that by what's that? Yeah, going to IAM and adding another policy which specifies the Cloud Run instance can write to the Google storage as well. Yeah, yeah, we can assign a role. So for this simplicity sake, I will give you like storage admin, which means like it has full control to the like storage server. So I can just save. Mm, and now in like it will take few seconds to apply. Let's see. It need like few seconds to like actually apply the policy. Um, and also you can see like these all these requests goes to the cloud run instead of the like the cloud storage instead of the like actual container, which will save you like a lot of processing power as well. So it only goes like actual requests that need processing to the instead of cloud run. Mm, mm, mm. It's still. I remember like I did a restart that day. What's this update, right? Storage admin is skill. That's the correct one, right? Yes. Yes. Now we just went through, and so this was actually uploaded, and we can upload it. And if you go to images, we can see it. So you can see it's also coming from the uh, our storage container, storage cloud storage bucket. And I'm not, yeah. So, and let's go to the cloud and dashboard and see what else we can do. And here on the metrics, like let's keep this going forward. We can see like a lot of insight into our containers. So this is not for like in one instance. Like if you had multiple instances, it will show all the aggregated data. And we can see that like all the requests comes in and the number of instances we have. So currently it seems like we have two instances because it was like we hitting some traffic. And we can configure how these get scaled up and how aggressive the scaler should be. And we have the like container latency and all this data to like more efficiently like diagnose what's going on in our cluster, not cluster, containers. Yeah, under networking we can also expose these as like internal. So as of now this is exposed to the public, so but there's another uh, use case of the cloud run instance where like we can run this as event triggers. So basically like uh, Google Cloud has this service called PubSub, which is most like act as Kafka, where like we can do like we can run some logic on events. So like we can configure them to run some images, or like let's we can for one use case is actually we can listen to a storage bucket, and when there's a new image uploaded we can create like bunch of different resolution of that image. So for that like we can set the like traffic to only accept internally. And under security like we can make this only available for like certain users, so we need to log in with the Google account to access this service after that. And yeah, so these are the triggers I was talking about. It will take a second. See, we have like bunch of like lot of events we can filter through, like so like for a migration and all this, like, and we can run some code based on that event. And for integrations, this is actually like preview feature, I wasn't even aware of this. And yeah, I still can't remember where we can set the apply new revision. Ah yeah, okay, so if you go to here, we can configure how the like this thing is deployed. And yeah, so on the auto scaling we can specify like have like at least one minimum container. So this will be very expensive like if you run this for like even when there's no traffic for like month. And we can limit the like maximum number of instances as well. And here we have the secret provider that like, and we can even set our own environment variables. And we can say like the traffic routing as well, like we can just deploy a revision without any without redirecting traffic. And we can like do like gradually fall off traffic to the new revision. Under networking we can enable HTTP2 and session affinity. So session affinity is like all the requests coming from like one user to go to a like one specific container. If you have like 10, this is mostly if we have like stateful containers where like we have some session data within the container. And VPC is for again to have a like local network suppose this in within the organization. And for encryption, this I think this is for SSL. It will be using like Google managed keys, and we can uh, use our own if you want. And yeah, so that's it for the demo, and I will show you some of the production application I'm running. So this is my portfolio website. This is running on Cloud Run. And this is another project I did some time ago. So this is also completely running on Cloud Run, and so the and this is for another project I did for like hotel. And these two are actually again Django applications. So these run on Google Cloud, but I still haven't paid a day for like computational costs. So the only cost that is affecting me is the like database cost. But in Google Cloud, database tend to be a bit expensive. But when considering like all the hassle I can avoid with this, it's always worth it. So I think that's all for the demo. Okay, let's do a recap of what we learned. So cloud. So we first knew like Cloud Run is a like serverless computing platform where we can deploy any container as HTTP microservice, and the platform will be auto scaling them from zero to like whatever the amount we specify based on the incoming traffic and the like container level. And we can set Cloud Run to have high availability. So like with traffic size, like we can set the like minimum availability as like one. So always we have a container running. And Cloud Run has a lot of integrated lot of things within Google Cloud. For example, like metrics and logging, and I forgot to show logs are also getting streamed like for everything. Yeah, you can see these are the like errors we got. Uh, so logs are logs are getting streamed here. And Google Cloud has this also has built-in security. So for example, if you go to here, like you can see the HTTP is on by default. So it will be using a like Google managed certificate. And so like we there's less chance for man in the middle attacks. And this also has a kind of a easy deployment system. So the thing is like initial deployment is very annoying, but once we set up like I think I can show it like for my portfolio website I have set up a like build system like where like I just push the update and push a like git commit, and it will just build and deploy everything and deploy the new version. So I don't even like check the pipelines. I know when I push the new version, if it built locally because I'm using Docker, it will work on the cloud. And another thing we actually haven't like touched, but so is like we can set Google Cloud container like run containers as to event triggers and run it with the whatever the like uh, event we see. For example, like storage bucket created or like item added to a storage bucket. So that's about it, and I hope you learned something new from this session. And if you have any questions, like you can ask in the chat or like even reach out to me on various social medias here.
Isara, we
Uh,
have some question from the audience.
yeah. Okay.
So Abdurrahman
Yeah.
is asking, I think I hope you can see the question.
Yeah. Can we deploy ML models on Cloud Run? And and there is this deep learning VM, right? And secondly, my question is rather not to use. Secondly, my question is rather not to use Cloud Run for enterprise level development. Yeah, for the to answer the first part, you can deploy ML models on Cloud Run. I think I even have done for like small demos. But the thing is, like Cloud Run has a Cloud Run price. So they charge for the memory as well. So like I only mentioned request rates because like I only hit, mostly for these kind of workloads we will hit request rates, but they charge for the memory as well. But if you are deploying a like large ML model, these will get also charged. So to answer your first question, you can, but for ML workloads, I don't think Cloud Run is the like ideal solution. And second part is rather not use Cloud Run for enterprise level development. Mm, it is okay to use enterprise level. So for the use case I have seen for Cloud Run in enterprise settings is mostly for event driven applications. So like as I mentioned, like for example, let's say we have a storage bucket where like users can upload videos, and when user upload the video, we can convert it to different codecs. So like those kind of things, I think Cloud Run can be used, but for production in enterprise settings, like we might need sometimes more control over the infrastructure. Other than like this is can be used. I hope that answers your question.
And we have
Mm,
another question from Nisal.
can we set memory limits to okay, that I let me check. As I remember, we can because it uses the Kubernetes. Yep, we can set memory limits. So it will get OM killed if it's we go above that. So this is basically like if you knew Kubernetes, like this Kubernetes style specification. So most of the things Kubernetes support are already here, and it just add on top of it. So since it is built on Knative, is that all?
I think that's so.
Mhm. Yeah. So
So let's wrap up the session.
yeah. Again, thank you all for joining, and yeah. See.
So thanks for informative session about Cloud Run, Isara, and I would like to thank to everyone who participated today webinar. So until next time, see you all.
See. Bye.
Bye.